Hello all, this is Namratha Kuttuboina from Section F. Today we are going to discuss about income inequality and wealth disparity in one of the largest economies of the world, India. India, often hailed as the world's fastest growing major economy, is also home to some of the starkest income inequalities. While the country has made remarkable progress in terms of GDP growth and industrial expansion, this wealth has not been evenly distributed. According to Oxfam India Inequality Report, the richest 1% of Indians owned more than 40% of country's wealth in 2024, while the bottom 50% owned less than 3%. This growing wealth gap threatens social stability and slows down inclusive economic growth. In simple terms, income inequality refers to the uneven distribution of income across the population. In India, this problem is deeply entrenched and widening due to wage disparity. The average CEO in India earns 200 to 400 times more than a median worker. Meanwhile, daily wage laborers struggle to make even 300 rupees per day. Skewed asset ownership. The wealthy accumulate assets such as real estate, stocks, businesses, which appreciate over time. In contrast, poor have minimal assets and live paycheck to paycheck. Limited access to quality education and healthcare. The privileged have access to better schools, universities, and healthcare, while low income families remain trapped in low wage jobs due to poor education and limited healthcare facilities. Unequal tax structures. India's tax system favors the wealthy. While the corporate tax rate is 22%, indirect taxes on essential goods disproportionately impact the poor. These factors collectively deepen economic divide, making it harder for low and middle income groups to climb the socio-economic ladder. Income inequality in India has deep historical roots. During British colonial rule, exploitative and policies concentrated wealth in the hands of few landlords while farmers remained impoverished. Post independence, land reforms aimed at redistributing agricultural land largely failed due to weak enforcement. In the 1990s, economic liberalization boosted India's GDP but also widened the wealth gap. Urban professionals in tech and finance benefited from high paying jobs, while rural laborers and informal sector workers were left behind. Today, despite India's economic boom, the benefits of growth remain skewed towards the affluent, exacerbating wealth disparity. Income inequality has far reaching consequences. Reduced social mobility. With limited access to education and capital, people from lower income backgrounds struggle to break free from poverty, creating a vicious cycle of inequality. Weakened economic growth. When wealth is concentrated at the top, consumer demand stagnates as the middle and lower classes have less purchasing power. Increased social unrest. Widening wealth gaps fuel frustration and resentment, potentially leading to protest and civil unrest. Health and education disparities. The rich have access to private healthcare and elite education, while the poor rely on overburdened public services, resulting in lower life expectancy and poor literacy rates. Political influence of the wealthy. The economic elite often use their wealth to influence policies, reinforcing their advantages and blocking reforms aimed at reducing inequality. To bridge the wealth gap, India needs multifaceted solutions that promote inclusive growth and equitable wealth distribution, such as progressive taxation. Implement higher taxes on ultra high net worth individuals and capital gains. Reduce indirect taxes on essential goods, which disproportionately burden the poor. Universal basic income. Provide a guaranteed minimum income to low income households, ensuring basic financial security. Strengthening labor rights. Enforce minimum wage wage laws and improve labor conditions, especially in informal sector. Wealth redistribution measures. Policies promoting land reforms and affordable housing can reduce asset based inequality, improve public education and healthcare, increase government spending on public education and healthcare to offer quality services to marginalized groups, financial inclusion, expand access to microfinance, affordable credit, and digital banking for rural and underprivileged communities. However, implementing these measures comes with challenges such as political resistance. Wealthy individuals and corporations often lobby against tax hikes and redistribution policies. Tax evasion. High income individuals and businesses frequently exploit tax loopholes to avoid paying their fair share. Bureaucratic inefficiency. Government programs aimed at reducing inequality often suffer from poor execution and corruption. Public apathy. Lack of awareness and low civic participation can slow down the push for progressive policies. India's income inequality is a deep rooted challenge, but not an irreversible one. By promoting progressive taxation, investing in public services, and ensuring financial inclusion, the country can pave the way for equitable and sustainable growth. Reducing wealth disparity is not just about economic fairness, it's about ensuring stability, social harmony, and a brighter future for all Indians. Only with inclusive policies and collective will can we create a more equitable and prosperous India.